Hello, hello. Check, check, check. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Am I audible? Hello, hello. Check, check, check. Anyone? Well, just check whether mic is on. Am I audible? Am I visible? Anyone? Ganesh? Yes. Okay. Sitaramji, am I audible? Okay. All good to go. So we'll start. Hello, all. Myself, Advocate Dr. Ajit Digambar Kakade, welcome you to Mpsc Exam Mantra. So in this particular Exam Mantras platform, we'll discuss UPSC Civil Services Exam Prelims 2026 paper, particularly GS paper, brief analysis, then what are the major areas where UPSC has shifted, and then we'll come to your favorite topic, that is cutoff prediction and who should prepare for mains. This session will be helpful mostly for those who are preparing for 2027, 28, 29. So there are major shifts what UPSC really want to test aspirants, which skill particularly. So that will be tested here. We'll discuss one by one. I hope I am audible, I am visible. Yes, once again I will ask you. Yes, yeah, definitely. We'll come to reflections of current affairs, particularly from our small booklets of current mantra, that is CM series, and that has performed exceptionally well in UPSC CSE. I was also surprised because basically those booklets were prepared for state PCSE exam and not for UPSC CSE. But UPSC CSE reflections, you can see it. We'll see the particularly see. I will differ from most of the educators whatever they have said till now. See, the thing is this UPSC exam is a competitive exam. First thing, this is not a graduation like everyone will fail if they don't cross 50% marks and all. So first, this is a competitive exam, right? So whether paper is weird, whether paper is random, whether paper is difficult, it doesn't make a sense. Almost 10,000 students will write mains everywhere. The question is whether we will be there in this 10,000 or not, right? So even if you are not clearing, there will be other 10,000 that will be appearing for mains exam, right? So first we should understand anyhow whether paper is difficult, moderate, weird, random, we have to be in that 10,000 who are gonna write this year's mains exam, right? Mains exam UPSC CSE 2026, right? This is first thing. But just going through the paper, first impression is, yeah, definitely paper is most difficult paper till now. So whatever exams UPSC has conducted, particularly prelims exam, this is the most difficult paper. First thing is questions are weird. Yeah, you can say that. Some questions are random. Yes, definitely. Then paper is too lengthy. Yes, again, those who have not read much in the last few years, maybe last months, it's very difficult to get that kind of speed which will help you to finish the paper within time. So paper was too lengthy, particularly for new aspirants. They have just given their first attempt or maybe second attempt. For veterans, might be like manageable, time might be manageable. They would have attempted all, at least attempted means at least they have gone through all 100 questions, whatever they have attempted. I'm not sure about that. We'll come to that also. What would have been the average attempt, what would have been the ideal attempt in this particular paper. See, so first thing is this is a competitive exam. So whether paper is weird, it doesn't matter for us. Only thing we should make sure is we should be in that 10,000 numbers, right? So 10,000 students who are writing in particular this mains, we should be there. Whether cutoff will be like net 70 marks or maybe net 90 marks, but there will be 10,000 candidates who will be there, right? So again, coming back to paper, CSAT paper, that is GS paper 2. Again, one of the difficult, I will say, is most difficult in recent past. First thing is like mathematics, that we call aptitude kind of questions are not that easy. Calculations are difficult. Comprehension, they have just tricked in one or two words. So again, you come to 50-50. Again, it takes a lot of time. Again, you are not sure about that particular questions. And again, they have reduced some questions from reading comprehension part. Those who are not very comfortable in quantitative aptitude, it becomes very difficult for them to even get that cutoff marks or that qualifying marks in CSAT paper. So again, there will be few students, aspirants who will be able to clear GS, but unfortunately, they will not be able to qualify CSAT paper, that is paper number 2, right? So this will again affect the cutoff. So if you compare 2023 result and 2023 cutoff marks, you will see this, like cutoff, whatever you see is a 75 marks, net 75 marks. It is not only due to GS, but the huge role is there of CSAT paper, that is paper 2 also. So whenever you are considering about cutoff marks, we should always think of both papers, particularly in recent last 5 years of particularly UPSC Prelims exam, right? So again, 23, even though like that was a difficult paper, but some questions were like from routine areas that we call as a predictable themes. But this year, again, randomization is there. Randomization in the sense is like, you will see more questions from ancient medieval part. Most of the aspirants neglect that part, right? Then few questions from modern history. Again, those questions were asked in ancient and medieval. They were testing like anything, right? Even those who have done masters in history will not be able to solve that particular questions accurately within that time pressure or within that 2 hours, right? So that's why it becomes again very difficult to tackle that kind of questions. Again, some questions you will see that are from international relations part. Usually aspirants mostly those, even though they are preparing GS2 paper for mains, but they are not preparing in that depth. So that kind of questions, they have increased the numbers there, right? Then yes, anyone else has to say? Okay, yeah, then that point. So why UPSC is doing like this? See, the very purpose of UPSC is to reduce the role of coaching classes. They don't want flourishing of coaching classes and all. So they want to give justice to those aspirants who can't afford this kind of classes, or what we call as a huge fees, particularly for coaching classes in Delhi. So what they always try is, they always try to go beyond the classes. What classes think, what they frame the questions in particular test series, or what notes they provide to the students, and what kind of trend the classes wala set in particularly aspirants. They always want to break that line, right? So the very reason you see, they have reduced the time between prelims and mains. The reason being simply, if there is a less time, students will opt less for mains test series. Student will opt less for coaching during this particular less time. They will always think like, why should I waste some time in going to the test and again coming back and all? That's why I will prepare on myself, right? So this is a strategic decision. Whatever UPSC do, they have a lot of thinking, they have a lot of reasoning behind that, and UPSC has in-house facilities, they have in-house faculties, they have in-house experts. They always try something that no one thinks. That's why usually people call it unpredictable service commission, right? This unpredictable service commission, as the name suggests, will always be unpredictable. But one thing I will make you sure, that those who are preparing particularly for 27, 28, 29, there are few things that you should always take care. That is, you should never divert yourself from basics. Even if you opt for any class, whether you are joining any class, you are taking mentorship or whatever, but never divert yourself from basics. Basics, first thing is NCERT is a very basic thing. Maybe state board, particularly old NCERTs, you can stick to yourself. Even some state board books that are updated, that are again good, particularly for general science kind of questions, and again some history questions also you can tackle from state PCS state board, like particularly Maharashtra state board books are very good. They are recently updated. This is the first thing is a NCERT, that is basic. Second thing is a newspaper reading. So important thing is newspaper reading. So whatever time you spend on newspaper, that will benefit you in a long term. Maybe some questions particularly with respect to prelims, but more questions from mains. So almost I think more than 10 questions will have relevance directly from newspaper current affairs. And this year again, most of the news that are covered by PIB, like so that news they have made important questions from. So PIB newsletters, you should always go through PIB. You should always go through at least The Hindu or Indian Express on a daily basis. And important thing, they always try to create enthusiasm, some interest, what we call as an inquisitive mind. So you should always have inquisitive mind. What is black box? Why there are so many like accidents are happening? So you take major Air India plane crash in Ahmedabad, then come to Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar state due to plane crash in Baramati. So there were too many discussions about black box. See, like whether they have asked this for the first time? No, not at all. See, 2012, there was a first Buddha circuit, there was a F1 race, Formula 1 race. So they asked in mains questions like, what is checkered board? What do you mean by that particular board? So UPSC will always go into the basics of particular thing. So, and again, some questions you can see current relevance also. So first observation is like paper is difficult. Second is most of the questions are random. Some may call it weird questions. Yeah, that again makes sense. Then there are new types of questions. That's what like UPSC is unpredictable. New type of question. First is a decision making questions in GS paper. So what they have left in 2014, they have again brought in 2026 as an decision making questions, right? So you'll see they will test your decision making. So whether you are aware about like what kind of is the right decision, what kind is the right or more appropriate option. There will be some options that will be appropriate, but what they want you to choose is most appropriate option, right? So this is decision making. Earlier also there was inbuilt decision making. You have to make small choices. You have to take small decisions within paper, whether I should attempt these questions or not, whether I should go continue with this particular kind of flow or not, whether I should choose the questions of my own choice and then I should attempt that. So there are small decisions that you have to take within that 2 hours that UPSC was testing. But this time they have come up directly with decision making questions. First thing. Second thing, they have reduced some questions of reading comprehension from CSAT paper, but they have again brought that CSAT kind of reading comprehension questions in GS paper. You will see what is the assertion, what inference you can deduct from this particular question. Almost 4 to 5 questions of this kind of like reading comprehension. They have given some basic facts. Based upon that basic fact, they have given again statements, and then which statements are correct, what can be inferred from this. Then that makes question very difficult. That makes question very lengthy. It takes almost 1 page. So what you read at the first instant, while coming to the last point, you forget what was the first point, right? So this is very, very important thing, and very important what I have like observed particularly while solving this particular paper was you need a very sharp concentration. You have to be alert. You have to be attentive till the last full stop of that particular question. So when you are reading a 1-page question, you have to link every statement, every point to the next, and then you come to the conclusion. So in between time, those who are not able to concentrate fully, they take double time to read the question again. In that, they might misinterpret the question and they might go for the wrong option. So this might be one of the things. What they want is you should have full concentration. You should be alert. You should be attentive, right? Yeah, it's getting pull up sharp brains and improve administration. We could see in last few years officers' qualities. Definitely, Saurabh. That's what my point is. See, this is a competitive exam. They want better among you, right? Every time, even if cutoff is like 20 marks or maybe 10 marks, so there will be 10,000 students who will be writing mains, right? So they want better among you, right? They are always choosing better among you. So what do they mean by better is those who can take sharp decisions, those who don't get afraid, those who have courage to tackle different kind of questions within that 2 hours, right? So first thing what happened to most of the aspirants was they felt very what we call as a like weird kind of feeling they had in paper. So I will not be able to clear, paper is very difficult, what will happen to me? And irrespective of all these things, there were few aspirants, they gave their 100%. They stayed calm, they stayed cool, they tried to keep their temperament good, they attempted the questions, they read between the lines and they attempted the questions. So I think like attempting 80 around questions was not that difficult for those aspirants who were preparing seriously from last 2-3 years, right? So to attempt all 100 questions, it seems humanly impossible. Even the AIs, most like even ChatGPT, Claude, will not be able to give exact or correct answers as per UPSC answer key that will be released maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, right? So this is the thing, like it's again very difficult. Paper was difficult, no doubt that was difficult, but again it is a only competitive exam, so you have to be better among others. That simple thing you should keep in mind, rather than like what I will suggest is paper is difficult for those, I will say paper is difficult for educators. So next time how they will conduct mock tests, what kind of notes they will provide, what kind of marathon series they will take on YouTube, right? What kind of one-day revisions they will arrange on the last day. So just if questions are coming from one-day revision, that means one should not prepare throughout the year. Simple message that goes in aspirants, right? So UPSC will always say one thing in Marathi I will always tell is, whatever you do, like तुम्ही जे काय करताय ते चांगलं करा, समजून उमजून करा आणि त्यातला प्रश्न चुकू देऊ नका. You clear the exam. Same thing applies here. Whatever you read it carefully, try to understand it and give your 100% whatever you have prepared. You will always clear the exam, particularly prelims, because only like there are 10,000 students. So coming in 10,000 is not that difficult. Again, coming in 3,000 again difficult. Again, coming in 1,000 becomes again difficult, because competition at that level becomes among the better ones, right? But at this particular stage, there are so many students, they have just like UPSC is a national hobby kind of students. What I feel is like only around 1 lakh people that will be like around 4 or 5 marks here and there around the cutoff that are in serious competition. Others are just entertainers, like side heroes. What they will do is they will just fill the form and they will go and test how UPSC conduct the exam, right? Then second thing is disproportionate weightage. Again, this has been a what we call a regularity of UPSC. Like they will always disproportionate weightage will be given every year. Like sometimes geography will have more questions, sometimes environment you will have more questions, sometimes you will have more questions from modern history, sometimes you'll have only 2-3 questions from ancient medieval. This time so many questions. Again, polity, economy, not many questions from economy, particularly those related to current related economics, like very few questions are there. Again, questions have increased from awards like Nobel award, again BAFTA award, boom, that movie. So but I think in 2021-22 they have asked similar kind of awards, right? Earlier, before 2011, when there was no CSAT, at that time they used to ask awards. But till I think 2020, they were not asking awards, but again they have started asking awards and all. Again, important science related developments, important summits, important conferences at United Nations level, maybe at India level, regional level, those were important, like AI summit that was so much in the news, like Galgotia issue. So that was expected from you to at least be aware about the basics of AI summit, right? So what was the theme of AI summit? What are the major events that occurred in that particular AI summit, and what is the outcome of that particular AI summit? So, right? So this kind of things we can just primarily take observations from this particular paper. Then again, coming to cutoff prediction and all, regarding cutoff prediction and all, what I feel personally is 2023, everyone is comparing that kind of paper. So at that time, I think it was 75 net marks, right? Out of 200, 75 was the cutoff line for general candidate. So this time, I think like it will be less than 75, no doubt, less than 75. And again, 70 to 75. To be very precise, it should be around 73 plus minus 2. That makes sense for this particular paper. So again, like after 1 or 2 days, there will be an official answer key from UPSC. Then you can like take your decision. But what I will suggest is those who want to prepare for UPSC civil services only, those who have a dream of becoming IS, IPS or whatever other services, they should definitely start their mains preparation irrespective of their marks, irrespective of discussions on cutoff and all. When there will be a result, everything will be cleared. I think that will be within 15 days or maybe max 20 days, result will come out. But if you lose this 15 or 20 days, then it will be a kind of blunder that will commit in your life, right? So every day, every hour, every minute counts during mains preparation, because again for mains, that competition will be among better ones, right? So not all will be there in the mains, only those who will be clearing this prelims, so that are the better ones that will be competing among themselves. That's why mains competition is far more intense than particularly prelims exam, right? But I will suggest you to take a break of maybe 1 day or maybe 2 days, and then again come back, make a proper plan for your mains preparation, start answer writing as early as possible. Don't wait like first I will read and then I will start writing. That never happens with particularly UPSC aspirants. So you should simultaneously start writing along with your preparation. So writing is a completely different skill that you need to develop in yourself. Again, there in mains, time will be very difficult to manage because you have to attempt 20 questions. Again, questions are more analytical, questions are difficult, question will test your interpretation of questions itself. Like first struggle starts with what they exactly want out of this particular question. So for that you need speed, you need some facts at tip of your tongue, tip of the right, so that you will be able to write in exam during that particular time. Can we expect any sudden change in Mpsc like Haryana PCS? I don't see any kind of sudden change in particularly state PCS, particularly Maharashtra, that is scheduled on next Sunday. Only few things, but like I have told earlier also, some analytical questions will be more, multi-liner questions will be more. Might they like change some areas, particularly current affairs, maybe particularly with respect to economics and all, but there will be not major change in particularly upcoming state PCS Mpsc exam, right? Is it possible that we may see some changes in CSAT paper structure of Mpsc Rajya Sabha prelims? Yeah, CSAT might be slightly difficult because we have seen 2025 Group B mains exam. We have seen some passage reading comprehension part from UPSC and some other books. So you might get few reading comprehension passages difficult, but again, decision making 5 questions out of 12.5 marks, you can easily get 10 marks. Again, that becomes very easy to cross that 66 marks line, right? So that will not be that much difficult even with respect to CSAT, right? Then coming to particularly reflections of current affairs, particularly what I will show you is we have our current book, that is current mantra book, is a small booklet of 150 pages. So many questions are reflected like Dhruva, that is from science and technology. You can see this particular question, again Nobel question. You can see again BAFTA question, award wala question. You can see that question, BAFTA question, again boom, same. Then again Dhruv question, we have already covered. Again Samudrayan, Matsya 6000, that we have already discussed that particular question. And I have conducted all these sessions YouTube live, free, and everyone, those who have attempted these sessions, they will never deny this kind of things. Like there were reflections, yes, definitely there were. Again, international conference on green hydrogen. So green hydrogen was discussed detail in this particular. So we have this current mantra Telegram channel where we post daily like Thalak Batmya, important bulletins of newspapers and all. Among that, we have some reflections from that also. So this is book is both bilingual, Marathi as well as English, right? So this again question, see particularly sky route, Agnikul, in space, we have already discussed all the 3 statements. Sky route we have discussed. Then again AI Impact Summit, and in particularly AI Impact Summit we have focused on that particular theme. See Madhav National Park we have already covered. See AI Impact Summit we have focused people, planet and progress, right? Only 5 statements we have given, only 5 statements, and question can be solved easily with this particular one line only. This is our precision, like small booklet, 150 pages, not much for UPSC aspirants, and giving more than 10 plus reflections. Again, see same Bhubaneswar, Odisha, we'll see that particular option here. Again, this is our small booklets. This book is current affairs, this is a year book, and again this is 4 monthly. So these are the some reflections from our current mantra, particularly books, and we have already started UPSC foundation courses. So those who are willing to prepare for 2027-28, they can definitely think of this. We are mostly focusing on basics because this is a foundation batch. We'll be focusing more on NCERT, we'll be focusing more on conceptual clarity, we'll be focusing more on how to clear exam in first attempt itself, because IS at 21 is our motto. So we'll train, and we have started this right from 10th standard onwards. So those who have cleared 10th, those who are cleared 12th, and those are undergraduate, they are participants of this particular boot camp that was a free, and we have again launched this particular foundation course. So if you have any doubt, anything related to this, you can't just make a call on this particular number, right? Anything else? Yeah, for Rajeshwar Prelims, we'll have important current affairs sessions maybe tomorrow, right? So for UPSC, I think this is from my side. So myself is Advocate Dr. Ajit Digambar Kakade. I forgot to introduce myself. Most of the aspirants are new. I have already cleared UPSC exam for CAPF AC. I got CRPF. I have appeared qualified for CSE interviews also. So that is brief about me. I was part of All India Institute for 5 years. Again, I have started this my own institute, that is Exam Mantra, since last few years, and I am training mostly for state PCS. But right now, since a few months back, we have started UPSC foundation courses also. Those who are willing, they can join this particular courses. So thank you so much. What I will suggest is just stick to basics, start reading newspaper on daily basis, keep your inquisitive mind alive, just be aware person what UPSC expects from you, and focus on basics. So basics will never fail you, right? That will always help you. Even paper is difficult or paper is weird, you will have always advantage with your basics. So make sure your basics is very strong. Whatever selected or maybe qualified candidates I have met, their basics is very strong. They have very good control over their basics, and basics comes from basically NCERT and reference sources, not only class notes and class materials, right? So thank you so much. Good night. Take care. Bye bye. We'll see you in again next sessions for mains. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.